Make sure you're following them on Facebook. Their stories have been incredible this week. I want to just read the quote real quick, and then we'll turn it over to Crazy Cat Max. She's going to interview everybody, and they're going to bring their takes on the quote and the hashtag word of the week, which is leadership. The quote is, "Great leadership is never about the leader. Great leadership is about holding people up. The best way to increase your influence is to give it away." And that's actually from the book, The Go-Giver, which is an incredible book. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Kat, and I'll close out if you want to turn it back when we're done.
Yeah, great. I was super excited this week. Everybody did such a really good job. I don't know if anybody saw, but I did a compilation from all the posts this week. Leadership was it was really inspiring. So super excited to hear what you guys have to say. And with that, we'll start with you, Dennis.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Kat. The quote was hashtag leadership. That one was really special. My dad is he's in his 80s now, and he's a retired first sergeant from the United States Air Force. And if I heard my dad say this one time, I heard him say it 1,000 times: either lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way. That was a quote that he said often, being a first sergeant. And, you know, I thought it was kind of crass when I was younger, but really you're either a leader or a follower. And good leaders need good followers. And this group of people that's on here tonight, I believe that everybody's trying to be a leader. So it meant a lot to me, just the simple fact that I grew up in an atmosphere where I had a dad that was a leader of a lot of different men. He taught me a lot of that work ethic and leadership values. And I just think that if these people that are on tonight just need to continue to try to strive toward being the best leader you can be. And not necessarily you have to be the best, but be the best you can be in leadership. That's what it meant to me, Kat.
Sorry, I apologize. I put it on mute because I never know when my cats are going to scream. I love that. Really nice. Really nice. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. I really like that. I love that quote. So thank you so much. And Miss Carmen.
Hi. You know, leadership in this quote, it means a lot to me. You know, I've been an entrepreneur in one way or another my whole adult life, and come from a lineage of entrepreneurs, whether my father being a farmer and running his own farming business, to, you know, my brother owning his own brokerage business, and myself owning my own salons and a franchise and everything, and being a leader. And this quote is making people feel special when they get into my hairdressing chair, and making them feel beautiful and special, and hearing their stories through a conversation and getting a relationship built up. And that's what that leadership means to me. Like just celebrating the people that I meet.
I'm just going to leave it unmuted. If the cat scream, I'm sorry. So yeah, I love that, Carmen. It's about the people that you're trying to help, right? You're not leading yourself, you're leading others, and they need to know that you have their back. So that was wonderful. Thank you so much. Is Nicole back? I don't see her. Okay, so we're going to go on to Mr. West.
Well, thanks, Crazy Cat. I really appreciate it. Leadership is such a big one, and it was a pretty special week. And I got to go back with what Dennis said. I've heard that same phrase. I can imagine the service. We heard that more than once. But, you know, I look at leadership. I think leadership is the person that's going to step out in front, the person that dares to stand out, and the person that dares to take the action instead of waiting behind and waiting on somebody else to take the bull by the horns. He's the one who wants to get out there and lead the pack, not necessarily for the praise and not necessarily for the reward, but to show others that, yes, you can, right? Me being a mindset coach, to me, it's all about giving out and giving unto others and edifying others and lifting them up. And by encouraging others, you're developing other leaders. And being a leader, part of being a leader, you know, it's about developing other leaders, helping others take that initiative and taking that drive and control of their lives, and quit being the follower, the one that just wants to get by. That's what leadership means to me. I mean, there's so much that can be put into leadership, but leadership is about helping others, lifting them up, edifying them, and helping them groom themselves as well. Is that enough? Thanks, Kat.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And yes, you can. Yes. Really great coaching program that kind of helps people get out of their way and to not be scared so that you can lead. So thank you, Wes. I really appreciate that. Noelle.
Hi, Kat. Thank you so much. So loved this quote and loved this week and seeing what everyone did with it and brought their own personalities. What this quote meant to me is really about, because I'm, always trying to learn about, what I feel about things and where I feel about where I am. But I think leadership is, I know it's about supporting people. And Kat, you and I are supporters. It's about listening and meeting people where they're at. It's about being consistent and acting in integrity. So all of those are qualities that I admire in other people, and I try to be consistent with myself. So learning and growing into the leader that you want to be by, and I agree with Carmen, helping people to be lifted up and celebrating them. Thanks, Kat.
That's great. Lifting others. Rising tides raises all ships, right? Thank you, Noelle. Kathy.
All right. So one of the last quotes that I did said, leadership is not about titles, positions, or flowcharts. It's about one life influencing another. And that's what everybody's been talking about. One of the books that I read quite a while back was called Lead for God's Sake. And the leader in the book was not the coach, not who should have been the leader. It was a janitor that was influencing the whole school to become better. So he didn't have the position that the coach did, and the coach actually learned from the janitor, on what should be done. So it's not about position, it's about influencing others. So back to you, Kat.
That's beautiful. So it doesn't matter what level you're at. It matters that you have heart and follow through and that you're going to do the right thing. So really awesome. Thank you. Miss Lenore.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. And this leadership, that's a biggie. That's a big word, and with some really big meaning. So, but for me, leadership is, I'm going to ditto some of everything that's been said because it's been so great, but it's helping others. It's grabbing a hold of someone that may not be sure of themselves and may be a little insecure about some things, and just gently carrying them or pushing them or encouraging them. Even the leader, for the leader, it doesn't matter what your platform is. As Kathy said, your platform could be cleaning up yards, and somebody can influence someone that has a six-figure income that's a yard guy or girl. You know what I mean? So it's integrity, but it's someone that has a big heart, that loves helping people, that wants to see people do better and grow and raise themselves up. And personal development is the key. So that was my take on it. Back to you, Kat. Thank you.
Beautiful. I love how you talked about it's all different people and lifting people up and really being part of a team. It's really super important. So thank you. Kay. Is she frozen? It's like she's frozen. I'll come back to you in a minute, Kay. Hopefully you unfreeze by then. We'll go to Al and Cheryl.
Hi, thank you, Kat, for having us on. Leadership for me was really a big thing because basically we were, in my profession, we were trained in being in management, but not leadership. And so I felt that leadership was important because it could change the trajectory of how you worked and how you thought. And it was challenging in order to find great leaders. You could sometimes, but the challenge was that it wasn't consistent. But I was blessed because I was plugged into this guy because of what Al did. And I mean, he taught leadership in the United States Air Force. What better place could I plug into? So I would plug into him so that I could glean what I could to help make me a better leader so that I could pay it forward and pay it to someone else. And to make sure that the environments that I was in was not toxic, or so we can lessen that toxicity and make a difference for others. So I'm grateful to have someone that I could plug in. Success leaves clues. So that's something that, you know, that was beneficial for me. So over to you, Al.
All right. Hey, leadership to me, I really enjoy what Kathy was saying, because that to me is it in a nutshell. Leadership is influencing people and influencing them to accomplish something, accomplish a mission or something. And you know, there's position power where you are given a title, a position, and just because you're given that title or position does not necessarily mean that you're a leader. And then there's people power, where individuals who hold certain characteristics, qualities, people, they automatically gravitate toward these folks for a reason. That's leadership. So in a nutshell, if you really truly want to know if you are a leader, turn around and take a look behind you. And if no one's following, but if you got folks following after you, yeah, that's leadership. Influencing and directing or guiding or encouraging people to accomplish a specific mission. And it doesn't matter what your position is. Like Kathy was sharing, somebody, a janitor, could be teaching a coach. So outstanding. Thank you. That's my thoughts on leadership, influencing people to accomplish a mission.
We loved hashtag leadership. Thank you.
That was beautiful. You guys touched on some really important things. Leading is different than managing, and you need to look and see who's following you. Otherwise, you're not actually leading, because it's about the people you're trying to help. Betty could not be with us tonight because she had a farm emergency, but she said that leadership is about communication, loving people and guiding them, motivating your team and being a good example. It's about treating people the way you like to be treated, which is very, very true. And all of you guys kind of touched on my thoughts about it. It's about the people that you're trying to help, and it's about applying morals and ethics and to know where you're headed and to really be strong in that and to do it even when you don't feel like it. That's the important thing, because even if no one else is looking, you know. So, Kay, you made it back.
I made it back. So this week with leadership quite inspired me. To me, leadership has to do with empowering people. And if you see that they're like shy or resident or like what's holding them back, and empower them and compliment them and come from what is you're doing your best at being you and listening to them and just lifting people up. To me, it's a huge thing of, I've been an entrepreneur for so long, and this is, I don't know, the last couple years where I've been focused on leading other people rather than telling them what to do or just be focused on me selling, but how I empower people to act and encourage them and support them and be proud of them. Back to you, Kat.
Beautiful, Kay. Thank you so much. I'm glad you made it back. And that's all for me, Coach. So back to you.
Well, thank you so much. And I'd like to just share my thoughts on leadership. And then, Kat, I'd like to hear your thoughts as we close out. And I think Nicole's joined as well. But for me, leadership is huge. I love the 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. I don't know if you've ever read that book, but John Maxwell talks about the leader on the side, the leader in the back, and the leader in the middle. And you can always tell who the leader in the room is. And it's usually not the one in front of the room. So it's always funny and unique to see, the leaders. But anywhere there's a leader, it takes a village. It truly is about the team and about bringing the talents of other people. So in this quote, great leadership is never about the leader. It's about holding people up. So what we have to do, number one, to become a great leader is we have to become a great follower. What does that mean? It means you've got to be impeccable with your word. You must follow yourself. Would you follow you? I learned that once, and it hit me like a thorn in my side. I was like, wow, it made me warm inside, but then I thought, would I follow myself? You got to really ask yourself, are you being that leader you would follow? Then if so, you got to follow yourself. And then, like Al said, and I think Dennis said, then you get out of the way, go do it, and quit asking for permission. So many of us are waiting on someone to tell us it's okay. We just have to step out on that ledge and go do it. And the best way to lead when no one's following is to go do it. Put your blinders on. Don't look left and right. Go do it. Go do the things we're asking people to do, which is what Cheryl was talking about, the difference in leadership and management. In management, we are told what to do, we have to do it. Like we have to listen to a boss, right? In leadership, it's a volunteer army following you, right? They don't get paid by the hour, and you can't make them do anything, and there's no you can't write people up. It's totally different. Leadership is like, follow me or get out of the way, because I'm going here and I know where I'm going, and I'm going to follow me. Right. So anyway, I could talk all day. I love leadership. I love this quote. I love the Go Giver book. And I do love the 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell, which he really hits on leadership and all those different leaders on the side and the back and the front. So Kat, what is your take on leadership this week? And then we'll close out.
The biggest thing is for me is it's about the people that you're trying to help. It's not about you, and that you need to look and see who's following, like Al said. And then do it even when you don't feel like it, and you just touched on this. Would you follow yourself? So sometimes yourself is the easiest person to break a promise to, but it's such a detriment to everything that you're trying to accomplish. You have to keep your promises to yourself. It's really super important, because if you don't do it, you're not going to believe you, and no one else is either. So
yeah, good stuff. Okay, well, we'll stop. Thank you, Facebook, for tuning in. Drop a comment. Friend everybody tagged in this video. We are going to be sharing another reveal next week around our hashtag and our stories. Truly excited about the class. Thank you, Kat, for interviewing. Good night, everybody.